Greetings, beautiful souls. Let's make a quick sharing about the energies of July. So I've shared with many of you that I have felt before that energy of the July is going to be quite heavy. There is going to be a lot of things that we are going to be experienced. But I think neither of us could really pinpoint of what it really is. We just felt like the July is this big black glob of the energy and what can we expect from that? So I want to share with you a really quick story about how I came with the July energy or how it came to me. So the last Christmas, I was honoring the 12 days of Christmas. And as the story says, that every night you dream on this 12 days of the Christmas, you are predicting the energy for the month that is going to go on in the following year. So on the first night of the 12th day of the Christmas, you are dreaming about the energy of the January. So when we come on the night number 7, there comes the energy of the July, which was a very heavy, very difficult, very restricting, like sort of a nightmare. Let's put it that way. Anyway, what is it that we are experiencing? We have plunged collectively as the whole humanity into the dark night of the soul. Imagine that we are calling Earth, us, all these living organisms. We are going through this energy spheres. So it's like we are moving through this different kind of the rooms, and each room is gonna bring up a different kind of the emotions. So will stimulate a different kind of the emotions within us. And so once we cross into this July energy, it became very obvious that it's bringing up your worst fears, which means you can compare it to the dark night of the soul. Now, some people dread to go to the dark night of the soul. And of course, if you don't know too much about it, it is a very, for the beginner, it's a very unpleasant experience because everything's around you going crazy. You feel like your life is in this worst possible chaos. And what could go wrong will go wrong. And yet it go wrong in such a level that I feel like it's wrong on the steroids. So that dark night of the soul just needs to be understood so you can gain the best out of it and truly make a transformation in this life. Transformation into a life that you would like to live. And I think that's what we all desire, to really transform into a better life and the better opportunities for ourselves, our children, the future of the whole earth. So we already know, it's built on the facts that we know that we are in the number 4. Vibrational number for this year is number 4, which is the abundance. We are collectively manifesting a negative abundance, if you can look at it, or maybe it is a positive abundance, again depending in which kind of the eyesight you are going to look at it. Now in the level in a let's say, if you will talk philosophically about the transformation, actually the negative abundance is actually, it's really, really good. And that's what's going to be year number 5. That's the next year. It will be transformation. So to be in that level of transformation and embrace this new life ahead of you, you have to go through this negative abundance, or call it the positive abundance. Again, it doesn't matter how you define it. It means that there's an abundance of something. So the dark night of the soul gives you abundance of the something. It gives you opportunity to fall deep, deep, deep into the darkness, and I feel really bad. So this is once you notice it, when everything is going wrong, you stop yourself, you stay in that present moment, which we practice the whole year. Now, if you guys following me, left hand on the bladder, right hand on the mind's eye. Focus on your breath, focus on yourself at a present moment of time. Now, the next step is when something starts happening to you, your family, and your worst fear is going to be challenged, whenever it is regarding your health or the health of your loved one or health of your pet or the financial situation. stability, or anything. What is your worst fear? When it starts happening, again, you focus in the present time and you focus on this emotion. The next, often we either try to be a victim or the bully. We go, Paul, let me, the things happening only to me, out of all, everything, it can happen only to us, and so much on. Or you become very angry and try to blame it on anybody else, it's because of this and because of that, and if that would not be happening, then this would not be happening, and so much on. So you will, very much observe yourself of which kind of the person you are. Are you more a victim, or are you more in the bully kind of the energy who likes to be angry? And it's not that you like it, it's just the natural way how you were shaped into this life. So, are you more the angry, blaming kind of the person? Now, I know that all of you who would tell me, your scenario, there's like, yes, it's absolutely understandable that you are this and you are that, but you want to transform from this and that into kind of the life that this will not be happening to you. Or if it happens to you, that you are supported and there's a help coming to you so you can deal with this nicely. So once you realize your true emotions behind what is happening, then you need to go in your insecurity. This is where you're probably going to start shivering with the fears. And you says, oh no, 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 no. That means the walking into deep, dark cave inside of you. Finding why are you feeling like that? Why are you having this insecurity? Why you are afraid that you cannot save someone that you love? Why are you angry that you cannot heal them? Why is this happening to you? So we're going to get this why, and we will go in and say, when did it happen to you for the first time? When did it happen to you in the past life? When did it happen? How did it happen? What is the story behind it? And that is the power. That is what your energy is really trying to protect you from, because there's a lot of pain and the hurts inside. And this is where the dark night of the soul beautifully helps you. So be in this level of the energy for the month of the July, deep, dark, heavy things happening from the left and the right is actually a gift. A weird kind of the gift, but a gift. A gift that opens to sort of a door to your cave, or helps you to see the passage, the opening of your cave. And then you are there and you're supposed to walk in. Of course, you have this pounding and you may feel all stressed out. And the easy way is even to become the victim. Poor little me, things always happen to me and there's no way out of it. There's absolutely nothing possible that can happen. Or be angry and blame somebody else why it is happening to you and why there's no way out of it. I want you to see that energy that's really happening, let's say metaphorically, in the front of your cave. That's like a cage. You're like a cage animal just sitting there, and the door is closed, and you're just like, poor little me, or angry little me. But when you focus on the present time, you realize that this cage does not have a locked door. That the door is just closed, but you can reach with your hand, you can open the latch, and you can open it and you can walk out. Oh, wow, what a power is that, right? And when you walk out, it means you have to go into this cave. And out of this cave may scream to demons and the monsters and the most horrible thing that is giving you a nightmare in the middle of the night. And you need to realize that the horrible thing that gives you the nightmare, that thing that you are so afraid of, that thing that makes you a victim or makes you angry kind of the person, it's just an emotional thing. It is not a physical man or the woman or the monster that's standing within that cave. Those are your emotions that morph itself into this ugly, ugly, nasty, hideous thing out there. And how scary it is to go and meet and I will really exaggerate here, the hideous part, the nastiest difficult part of yourself, of your personality. There is something that makes you want to throw up just to think about it. But tell yourself how long you're going to be going through these things. How long that you're going to be repeating these dark nights of the souls that opens this beautiful opportunity and you go like, no, thank you. I'm going to stand this one out. Sorry, just going to feel bad for a little bit more up here. And I know it's going to pass. Of course, the dark night of the soul is going to pass. In the normal spiritual days evolution, it usually lasts about 3 days or so on. But we are in a month, whole month. Okay, I'm gonna start repeating that one. So we will stop procrastinating and we will walk up there. The worst thing that's gonna happen to you is that you are going to feel bad. You felt bad so many times in your life. Feeling bad is just the feeling bad. It makes you feel, ugh. It wants to make you go and throw up. It wants to make you go and hide. It wants to make you maybe to reach for the alcohol and get drunk or do something, not smart. Sorry about that. How if you put this aside and you says, I give myself privilege to walk there and I'm gonna face it, I'm gonna see it, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna address these parts. And all you have to do is to accept them. So you're gonna look at that fear that you are facing right now, okay, the biggest fear of your life. And it's not only us, humans that are experiencing it. We are experiencing it collectively. And I'll give you an example. Our lovely dog Sparta became extremely ill over the weekend. And they found out possibly that she has a tumor pressing at her spine that would be causing these agonizing pains that she just woke up into. And Sparta, believe it or not, a strong name she has, is the biggest scary dog that you can imagine. And she is terrified by doctors and by different people. And she has to go to this specialist, which we are very fortunate that we can take her to. But this Sparta has to face her fears with this one as bad as it is. And this is what brings you into this, first of all, you go, why I can't make it better, why I can't save her. And I'm gonna give just a Sparta as an example. You transform it in your life. And I know that the very different scenarios are happening in your life. But this is an example that you just take as a blueprint and you transfer it in your life. So there she is, you have to bring her and you are very relieved that there's somebody that understands why she's going these mysterious pains. But then you question, why the healings are not working? Why can you find out what is wrong or make it better as a healer? And that's going to bring us in our very limitations. We all have some kind of limits, and our abilities are not 100,000% working kind of the abilities, but neither were of the Jesus Christ. So I don't believe that our ability are meant to be the 100%. And neither of us is there that one person who fix everything that the life presents you. We need to learn to reach for the help, to accept one another, to accept our limitation, which actually is a big training from the esoteric teachings, and learn to trust the others. And so much more. There's, the big lesson for the family coming from it. There's also the big lesson for Sparta, which it's kind of harsh to look at it, how she understands, that point of view. To learn to trust the people who are going to help her. Perhaps the universe helping her with it, as she's heavily medicated at the moment. And with that, you are not in such a freak out who's coming to you. And we'll see what's going to happen there. If you are in the, the financially poverty kind of the mind, which I grew up in, you have a big worry about the bill and what is going to happen. And again, it's easy to fall into that, poor little me, how is going to happen to us, into the trusting that everything is going to align and the money is going to be available for the treatment and what it needs to be, and that is going to be the best possible outcome coming out of it. So what I'm trying to say is worst possible scenarios are showing up in everyday life, and it's happening to every one of us. Doesn't matter where you are on your spiritual journey. So recap this: you need to stay in the present time, right? Focus on the moment. What you can do in the July is only take it a day by day. This is not a month, really, a plan ahead what it's gonna do, because you get overwhelmed. Unless like you are a superhero, you probably get overwhelmed. So do not overwhelm yourself. Just focus on that path ahead of you. Focus on the few days at a time. If you have to plan, of course, we have some kind of the planning to do, but don't overwhelm yourself. Learn to trust that things will figure it out. Do what you have to do. Hold yourself to the scheduler and to the rules, loving kind of the rules that you made for your life. Then when the things start happening, identify if you are a victim or the bully. That's just the ego's energy. It's going to help you to see, am I, withdrawal, or would I blame everybody from it? Both of this energy literally wants to prevent you from accepting the responsibility that it is, I just have to accept it. Me as a mom of my lovely dog of Sparta, I have to accept responsibility that we have to find to help her, whatever that means. And that help cannot be on what I want. It has to be aligned what is best for her. Whenever it's meant to make difficult decisions, or depending on the possible outcome of the situation, or everything's gonna align that her treatments will lead into a very successful story. We don't know at the moment when I'm making this video that yet. But staying in neutral, sort of walking like a warrior, through the field, helps you out. Then walking into the cave, why is this happening to me? There's an answer in that cave. So you cannot go this like, why is this happening to me? And da 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 da, and my life. And then you go with everything that happened in the past. Forget about that. It's not working for you in the best possible way. And you want this transformation because you don't want to go through this again and again and again. At least I feel done with that. So if you guys follow, the steps that I find and sharing with you, then definitely I feel that is the way. I said 100% way. I can't promise you that, but it's definitely one of the paths that is, I think, good to take. So you walk into the cave and you find who you couldn't, let's say, the save. So if you're gonna go into this health scenario with Sparta, I would dig back out. I found a story in the ancient Atlantean Egyptian time, in that cross where there was a cataclysm of the Atlantis and us coming to the Egypt. There was another time in the Rome that I remember, to saving the people and not having the power to do that. Now, that is a big lesson when you want to say, so in this kind of the scenario, let's say that came out from all of this, that we don't have a control over life. We don't have, even as a healers, and again, Jesus Christ followed the same thing. We do not have control how long you're going to stay in the body and when you decided to go. And it doesn't matter how many skills you have and how many people you have studied or how much money you have to pay the others to do what you want to be done. That is all a control, right? And again, I'm showing this a dark night of the soul from the healers kind of the scenario. Now, we're gonna go to this step, the control. I'm very convinced that every one of you will find in that cave something, that you could not control. And that is what the dark night of the soul is all about. Letting go of our control. We became emotionally distressed to such a level that it imprinted through your nervous system and your soul, and that soul carries from the lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, because we lost the control because we could not control what outcome of the situation. And think of it, what is now in the July. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the August. Will the coronavirus stop? Now, I'm living in the South Carolina, number 3 of the coronavirus rise. It's kind of scary. So we don't know if the school is going to open. Are they going to be more letting go of the job? What's going to happen with the economy? But the first, what I see as the most important thing, what's going to happen with our health? What's going to happen with our children? This is very psychologically damaging, I think, time, and especially for the teenagers and the young adults. I think as the older generation, you hear that, the older generation, but it's true. We get used to it. We adjust more easily because we had that, but they need that. And as a mom of the 2 teenagers, I'm looking at them and they need that. And I'm sick of it to saying, nope, 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 no, sorry, honey, no. So this is our dark night of the soul. And again, there is that control, letting go of the control and finding our own personal responsibility. So it also doesn't, mean that we let go of the control and do whatever and don't care about whatever happens and how it affects anybody. That is wrong in my kind of the opinion. It means that I let go of the control, accept what happened, forgive myself and the others in that case, and give everybody an unconditional love. And then from that on, I take the responsibility for my action. That is a big, big sentence. Let's repeat it again. I take responsibilities for my actions. So if I know that I tried my best, let's say saving my dog or healing somebody, assisting, my clients, be with my family, then I have to accept that my best is good enough. That means taking the responsibility for your own actions and letting go of the control. So if I know that I have tried, that I have done the best I could do under the circumstances. And your best may vary in the different days. Today your best is here, and tomorrow your best is up there, and the day after is the best is up there. I mean, there are many outside circumstances that do affect that scenario. Your sleep and the people around you, and I don't know, the way how you eat and so much on. I mean, we can go on and on and on. Your mental kind of the state at the moment. I mean, when you sleep for the 3 or 2 hours, you probably, your best could be a very different, and you sleep your 8 hours and so much on. I mean, don't be hard on yourself. Just do your best, and your best is good enough. That's all what you have to do. And then when you look at those past life, when you look at the monster, when that hideous thing is out there, and you look it in the eyes and you says, I have done my best. And my best was good enough. And let's go into the lifetime when you may have been a total coward, when you were looking at somebody who was dying, and I'm giving this horrible scenario, who was dying, and all you could do is just to stand there in the frozen kind of the fear, which nobody else knew, just you. You were just frozen. You were so afraid that you could not move. You couldn't do anything. You could not even move your hand. That was your best in that lifetime. You did your best. You could not possibly. And of course, then back you go like, I was such a coward. Why I couldn't? Why I couldn't do that? Why I couldn't do that? Why I couldn't do that? Because at that moment you were frozen and you couldn't. So at the moment of the frozen time of you did your best, and your best was good enough. Accept it. How long you gonna hold it within you? How long you gonna let this hideous monster take the best out of you? So learn from these emotions. Take this as the greatest learning lesson in our life. If you're gonna look at it from that higher 5th dimensional perspective, as bad as your life may be right now, as this month of the July is, and gosh, we are not even in the half of it yet, or we are approaching that the first half of it, you go like, what is there next? How can I make it to the end of it? It is the greatest gift to us. If we take our suffering as the greatest gift with a gratitude, and stay in the present time, you are able to see the help for you that's aligning for you. Now, how do I know this? Earth is a place of duality. On every problem, there's a solution out here. This is why aliens love, love, love Earth. And they keep incarnating here. They keep sending their family members here, because if there's any problem, the Earth is like this most sophisticated computer, artificial intelligence, whatever we will compare to, that we can comprehend with our mind. It has a solution. Because we are so distressed, we are so upset or so terrorized, so plunged in our suffering, we won't be able to see it. We won't. So stay in the present time, do your work, and take this as the greatest gift of our life. And let's transform. We are moving into the, well, we already are in the fifth dimensional awareness. I would just, all of you who do listen to this video, I mean, you can check it up that you got into this fifth dimensional awareness. But as I was talking in the previous video, next challenge is to bring that fifth dimensional awareness in your physical body. And that physical body is connected to many painful stories from the past. And it's saying like, I don't know, remember when you were the alien and you couldn't save anybody because there was a cataclysm of the Atlantis and our medicine from the Pleiadians was not available. That is very much like a story that your child needs a penicillin, but because something happened and penicillin is not available, you know that the penicillin will save your child's life, that it takes about 10 days until he or she will get better, and suddenly it's not there. And I know that you can tell me about all these natural products and herbs and so much on, but what if you don't know it? What if you are stuck on the deserted island when you don't know nothing about, what kind of the herbs is which, or the which bark of the tree is gonna work as an aspirin, right? The killing tree or so much on. When you don't know this, and you only remember that there was the penicillin, you are in the despair, you are in the anger, you are in the way that terrorize yourselves that you can't control how you will save your child. That's gonna stay with you. So reverse it, look at it and says, okay, there's been a lot of things we cannot control. Address your emotions, find why, find what is the pattern that keeps repeating, and what is your worst case scenario. I tell you one thing, when you know your weaknesses, these energies can't intimidate you, because like, oh, here it is, let's work through it. So I hope this message will help you on your journey through the July. I love you guys. My love and the prayers and the healings are with you. And you are not alone. We are getting through this together. So I think that August is going to have actually a very lovely energy, very healing, rejuvenating energy. So let's see ourselves in the beautiful doorway emerging into the month of the August. And I think this is what I'm telling myself. If we make it through the July, you probably could make it through all your life. All right. So take care. I love you. Leave me the comments below. Please share the video. Subscribe if you like what I'm sharing. Love and light to you.